promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isodo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very program. I appreciate everybody that have connected. We have to start up the program. Others can join later, or people can watch later. It doesn't matter how many people we have online. Even if we have only one person, we have to continue to preach this gospel, to speak to Biafran people and make sure the message continue to go. No matter how they try to discourage us by not sending our notification to our viewers, we will never stop preaching this gospel. We will continue to preach even more than they expected. We will continue to speak on top of our voices, and our voice be heard. So wherever you are watching from, please, as you join this platform, whenever you try to connect, like and share. Like and share. That is the way we can be able to break the chains of these enemies that are hindering us from sending messages. This is how we can break the chain. We will break the chains by being steadfast and keeping to rules, by sharing videos to all our friends, all our families, even our enemies. You can share to them. So we must have to preach this message. No matter what the enemy does, no matter how they come, we must have to preach the message. Today we want to speak on the situation in that contraction called Nigeria as usual. The time has come for every one of us to sit up. Please, as you join, you like and share. As you join, to like and share. We are talking about the unavoidable war to the freedom of Biafran people. There are some unavoidable things that will happen for us to be free. There are some unavoidable engagements that we must have for us to be free. And as we are moving forward into our freedom, you should prepare for everything. Remember the word of our Prime Minister when he measured and he said, if you want peace, prepare for war. Always have that very language in your heart. Let it be ringing a bell in your head. If you want peace, prepare for war. And of course, we need peace. What we are asking for on daily basis on our different platforms, the agitation we are having today, the self-determination we are asking for is for peace. We are asking for every indigenous person to have a safe place to be. That is why we are agitating. That is why we are demanding for our freedom. That is why we are asking for us to have a place where we can call home. There are some unavoidable things we must do if we must be free. One of the things we must do if we must be free is to prepare ourselves for the unknown. Prepare for every possibilities. Prepare for everything. Prepare for war. You must get prepared. Get prepared and be ready to make sacrifice. You must be ready to make sacrifice. It doesn't matter how it is. Let me tell you, freedom doesn't come cheap. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It is not handed over in a platter of gold. There is always a sacrifice for freedom. There is always, sometimes, the ultimate sacrifice. And if you sincerely and genuinely need peace, you need freedom, you must prepare for everything. Prepare for everything. Every one of us must get prepared for what is about to happen. It doesn't matter what it is. Get prepared. If you sincerely want peace, more especially my Biafran brothers that are watching this platform today, those who are watching us, if you genuinely and sincerely want peace, you must prepare for every eventualities. Whenever we read about freedom, we never hear that people were given freedom or people were dashed freedom. We hear that people fought for their freedom and they got it. It has always been about a fight. You have to go for it. And when you are going for your freedom, when you are fighting, in the course of fighting, a lot of things happen. There are so many collateral damages. So many collateral damage happen in the process of fight. Most times, the intention of fighting is not to take life. Most times, the intention of fighting is not to take life, it's just to make correction and to speak loud and to make a statement. Those are the reason why people fight most of the time. It is not to take life. But in the process of fighting, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You can't say because of what is going to happen, because of what you anticipate, you will no longer go for the fight for your freedom. You must have to prepare yourself. Every nation that you see today, you are celebrating, traveling to, they have fought for their own freedom and they got it. Those of us who are living abroad, try to sit back, make inquiries and find out how the state or the country you are in come to existence. That country where you reside, that you find comfort, that country that you are holding their passport, that very place you feel relaxed, you are there with your family or you are there alone, wishing that your family could join you, that very place you feel comfortable and relaxed, begin to make inquiry. How did they get to where they were? How did they go to where they are? Trying to make inquiries and find out how were they before they go to that stage. All these are important information that are available everywhere. When you begin to make inquiries and know how the strongest nation you see in this world come to existence, those places where you find refuge, how they come to be that strong. When you see where they are coming from, you begin to appreciate what the agitators are doing today for Biafrans. You begin to appreciate why Biafran people are speaking loud. You begin to appreciate why Mazen Nandekano said it is either Biafra or death. You begin to appreciate why Mazen Nandekano will remain in detention, remain in solitary confinement for more than 2 years, and still he's standing his ground and telling you that it is Biafra or nothing. You begin to appreciate the reason for the fact that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa today has sacrificed everything and focused on Biafra. You begin to appreciate why so many people in Umuada, they will leave their family affairs, they will leave their family issues, and the Umuada will commit their time every Saturday calling you to come and support Biafra. You begin to appreciate that they leave their families, leave their job, and they are coming on a daily basis to talk to you. You begin to appreciate our media warriors who come on daily basis to preach the message, to ask you what to do, and to tell you the things that are happening in that country, to tell you the dangers ahead, and to tell you the road to follow, to come and sensitize you and encourage you to continue to fight on. You begin to appreciate why the media warriors are doing there, even when they have other jobs to do, even when they have other life to live, even when they can become a comedian and begin to make money. Some of us in the media who are broadcasting on Biafra media, our platform have been attacked several times. So many of us have lost platforms. It is not just about money. If it were to be about money, let me tell you, no Biafran agitator will still be there. Because there are so many other things you will do. You know that the social media promote jokes. They promote things that are wrong. But when you are sending the right message to sensitize your people, they are not going to support you. Social media will fight you. So many of us in the media have lost platform. I personally have lost a strong platform. But that didn't make me to stop. I can easily go and begin to do a different thing, begin to do other news that will impress them, begin to add comedy or whatever. I can do that. But I have chosen the path that will affect my life, affect your life, affect our life in general. This is the path that we should take. When you look truly, and you ask question, this country that I am, where you are, where we are, and we feel comfortable, searching for their passport. We want to be citizens of that area, and we are wishing that our families will join us. Ask yourself, how did they get to that point? Where we are there before? What we are doing? How were they able to achieve such success? It took a lot of sacrifice. Every single nation you see today sacrifice. And when you ask this deep question sincerely in your heart, you begin to appreciate what the agitators are doing today. You begin to appreciate Mazin Nandigano, appreciate our Prime Minister, Mazin Samaneba, appreciate Umada, appreciate our media warriors, appreciate every member of autopilot that have insisted and said that we must have our freedom. Go and make inquiry. It is very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Make inquiries. Acquire wisdom about nations. Every one of us, most of us here know the story of the state of Israel, how they come to be. Make inquiry. How did the United Kingdom that is enslaving you today, the United Kingdom that is holding Nigeria captive, holding most of the African countries captive, how did they come to be? How did they fight their way to get to that point? The United States of America that have become a world power that now dictate to people what to do and what not to do. Go and ask questions. How did they get to where they are today? How did they arrive to that state? France, how did they arrive to that state? Germany, how did they arrive to that state? Japan, how did they arrive to that state? China, how did they get to where they are? India, how did they get to where they are? And some other countries. Make inquiry. How did they arrive to where they are today? And you will discover that people paid a great sacrifice to get them to that point. People, their citizens, paid a great sacrifice. Some of them, many people laid their life down for the country to be what it is today. And here are we, jumping and running to those countries to find refuge. And when we get there, we sacrifice everything, do everything possible to get their passport. They didn't just wake up and got a good country. They did some work. And that is what we are supposed to be today as Biafrans. When you look at how freedom is being gotten, you begin to appreciate every member of IPOB, every genuine member of IPOB. You begin to appreciate them. Because freedom doesn't come to, it comes with sacrifice. And I must commend every member of IPOB, every genuine member of IPOB. I must commend you. Wherever you are, I commend you. You're welcome, my beloved sister Linda TV show. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. You begin to appreciate every member of IPOB, every genuine member of IPOB. Undoubtedly, they have made a great sacrifice. Most of them ultimate sacrifice, and they are still making sacrifice up to this moment as you're watching this video. They are still making sacrifice. Many have lost their life. Many have lost their means of livelihood. Many have lost their wives. Many lost children. Many lost parents. Many lost wives and husbands. Many are deformed. Many in the hospital. Many are in jail. All because of freedom. But their sacrifice will never be in vain. Their sacrifice will never be in vain. And it is you and I that still have some little freedom. We are the one that will make sure that their sacrifice is not in vain. Chukwu Okike Abiyama has given us the grace for us to move into our own nation, have a nation that we can be able to be proud of. Chukwu Okike Abiyama has shown us that grace, that mercy, by providing some leaders that will guide us into our freedom. Don't throw it to the dustbin. Do not waste that opportunity. Our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, answered his own call. He answered his own call, and he was very, very consistent, preaching the gospel and doing what he's supposed to do. He worked for you and I. He was working for you and I until the last minute. Even in the process of his kidnap, he was working for you while he was kidnapped. He never relented one day. He has given it all. He lost his parents, left his family, left his job, focused, used Biafra as his own career. Your freedom, my freedom, our future. Gifts were offered to him. Present were offered. Position, money, what? Oil well was offered to him. He said, no. That is not what I want. What I want is the freedom of my people. And today, we see our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, fighting for you and I against all, with all attack coming from right, left, and center. He is standing firm. Mazi Simon Ekpa, standing firm, continue to speak the same word that Mazi Nandekano preached. Continue to build on the foundation led by Mazi Nandekano. He's not moving right, left. He's not shaking. And that is what every one of us is supposed to be doing. Our Prime Minister today is building on the foundation led by Mazi Nandekano. He's not laying a new foundation. Get it into your head. He is not. That is why when you see anybody castigating Mazi Simon and attacking him, run away from such people. They don't mean well for you. It doesn't matter whom they are. It doesn't matter how close you are to them. It doesn't matter how long you have known them. And you see them attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa, stay away from them. They don't mean well for you. Because Simon Ekpa is not laying a new foundation. He is building on the solid foundation of Mazi Nandekano, making sure that the legacy of Mazi Nandekano continues. What is that legacy? To make sure that Biafra becomes a reality and the people are free. Not only to free Biafra, to free every indigenous tribe in that country called Nigeria and Africa in extension. That is the mission he is impacting. Mazi Nandekano laid the foundation. And today, what do we see? What we see are people who pretend to be with Mazi Nandekano and they have never ever been with him. People who begin to blackmail the same person that is fighting for their freedom with the Nigerian government. People who support everything that has to do with the Nigerian government, including their government and their elections. And yet they claim to be with Mazi Nandekano. They open their mouth and say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is destabilizing Nigeria. People who claim they are fighting for freedom and they are talking in favor of that thing that is holding them captive. And you're not getting your senses. The only man today that draws the attention of the whole world to the plight of the people in that contraption, not only Biafrans, the only man that is outspoken, drawing the attention of the whole world to the things that are happening in the Zoological Republic is Mazi Simon Ekpa. He does it on a daily basis. Go to his Twitter. Important personalities in the world powers are paying attention to his broadcast and his tweets. And they're responding to make sure that every one of us that is in captivity in that contraption set free. But here you are. When you know very well you don't have anything to offer, you have no plan to rescue your people, but your own brother who has a plan have come on board. Your envy and jealousy will not allow you to key in. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Indonesia have done a marvelous work. And as you are watching the video today, if there is nothing you will recognize Mazi Simon Ekpa today, recognize him for the fact that today Biafra is now speaking as a government, no longer as an organization. And the world are now looking at Biafra as a reality, unlike when it was a guesswork. Today, if any part of the world, any country of the world want to engage Biafra, they have a body, a government to engage. And we have been making engagement with the government of the world. Now, Biafra is winning allies. So many countries are willing and openly coming to be allies with Biafra. It is no longer business as usual. If you do not applaud him for anything, applaud him for the ability he has to be able to establish Biafra as a government, the Biafran government, the Biafran Republic government in exile, not just in exile, de facto government in Biafra land has been inaugurated. It has been activated fully. And you can see, if you are one of those paying attention, you can see the unveiling of the state of Biafra on daily basis. Every single day, he comes out to unveil the state of Biafra. These are processes that we must pass for us to get into our promised land. It is not a joke. It is not enough for you to come online and say, I want Biafra, I want Biafra. You must put things on the ground. Begin to pass through the process. And when you heard Master Samuel say Biafra is going to come in 2023, and you look at the process he's passing and the things he's doing, you will know that he's not for a joke. He is serious. Unlike those who want to agitate forever. All you do is come online, agitate and talk, and you think it will end there. Nobody's going to listen to you. They won't take you serious. Do you know how many thousand people that come online every day to complain? Do you know how many thousand people that came online every day to complain and say one thing or the other? It is not enough. You have to say it and pursue it. And that is what the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing today. Every member of the cabinet. It is unlike before when they call us miscreant. Do you know that, have you now seen that the word miscreant have died a natural death? The word miscreant have died a natural death. Nobody is talking about it again. Because they dare not open their mouth to say it. When they look at the cabinet of Biafra Republic government in exile, the people that are there today are professors, engineers, doctors, businessmen, connected men, traditional rulers. These are the people that made up the Biafra Republic government in exile. Connected people across the world. Today, Biafra government is speaking loud and clear, taking action on different fronts, internationally and locally. And the world is paying attention. And for some of you who think it is business as usual, it can never, ever be. We are moving with a high speed into Biafra because Nigeria is collapsing. The pillars of Nigeria have already fallen. We want to walk out before it collapses on top of us finally. That is why you see our Prime Minister extending the speed. That is why you see the Biafra Republic government in exile moving with speed, doing the needful. Every process and procedure they are taking today, watch closely. They are leading you to Biafra. Every step they take is a movement into Biafra. It is not, we don't just come out and begin to talk. And those of us in the media, what we do is to sensitize you, keep you awake, make you concentrate and focus on where we are going. That is our job in the media, to make sure you don't lose focus. Because some of us, it's difficult for us to gather information. Some of us, when we hear things today, the next minute we've forgotten about it. That is why those of us in the media come on daily basis to wake up your consciousness and make you stay awake until we walk into Biafra. Because the movement have already started. The movement have already started. All you have to do is to key in and put yourself in, take a position. Take a position. Our Prime Minister have made announcements several times. If you know anything you have to offer to make sure our freedom becomes a reality, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your location, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter who you support and who you don't support, it doesn't matter where you keep your life, it doesn't matter what you think. If you know you have anything to offer, come into the government of Biafra Republic government in exile and offer it. Any experience you have, bring it into Biafra Republic government in exile. When you break into that there, you will have the opportunity to push your agenda, and the world will hear you and hear you clear. The restoration of Biafra falls on the shoulder of every Biafran. You and I, every single one of us have a responsibility to carry. It is not meant for one person alone. It's not meant for Mazen Nandekano alone. It's not meant for Mazen Samaneko alone. Mazen Nandekano already is in the front seat as he promised, and he's taking the bullet for us. Mazen Nandekano is leading from the front. Our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is also pursuing his own way, consistently engaging the world diplomatically, running the government of Biafra effectively. What do you have to do? What is your own duty? What is your own duty? That is the question I want every Biafran to be asking themselves. It is not enough to say, I want freedom. What are you doing to get that freedom? What? So many of our brothers and sisters in Biafra land, they are also committing their own time to sit at home every Monday. They sit at home. Every Monday, they sit at home. Without being forced, without being pushed, they sit at home. That is something they are doing. They are actually playing a major role. With all the threat, all the propaganda, all the blackmail against them, they continue to sit at home on Monday. And very soon, we will walk into the 1 week sit at home. And the people in Biafra land, in homeland, they are going to carry out that 1 week sit at home and hold it tight in preparation for a referendum. You see that everybody is important. And I appreciate my brothers and sisters in Biafra land. They are doing marvelously well. If you think it's easy, go and give it a try. Every one of us know that in Zoological Republic, being a Biafra means a death penalty. And that was how our governors handed us over for our lives to be taken. You see why we are saying that it is a crime. It is a crime for one to give himself to Nigeria, because Nigeria doesn't mean anything well. It doesn't mean well for you. Every single politician you see in Nigeria, they are self-centered people. They don't care about you. All they want is to subjugate you, impoverish you, and bring you to your knees. They don't care about you. Every one of us saw a revelation. How they sold the organs of every citizen of that contraption. And their senates approved it and signed it. Senate approved it and signed it, selling the organ of every of the citizens in that contraption. That was the same way, the same people who were involved in that signing, including the Mado, still came and signed the death warrant of every Biafran when they proscribed the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. The same people that are supposed to protect you, they came together and they signed us. They signed our death warrant. They condemned us and signed our death warrant. And they proscribed us. And from that moment that they proscribed us up to today, it has never been easy. The government have gotten a leeway to come in and destroy lives and property. That is why you are seeing what you are seeing today. That is why the government will send their troops, send their aircraft with impunity into Biafra land to take the life of Biafran people. All thanks to your governors. All thanks to your politicians. All thanks to your elites. They gathered together and prescribe, sentence every one of us to death. Now you get it. It is you and I that will free ourselves. We must walk out of this dungeon that has kept us. Today you see what is happening in Nigeria. When our supreme leader was speaking and talking and talking about the security of Biafra land, they never believed. When our prime minister himself, the prime minister of Biafra Republic, was telling us about the criminality of this man in the creek, when he was telling about the pig in the creek, his criminality and the way he is sponsoring the genocide in Biafra land, when he accused the government of being responsible for the insecurity in Biafra land, we have been shouting about it and saying, people don't believe us. People don't believe us. They think we are making it up. They think we are troublemaker. But today, it is becoming very, very clear. Please share this broadcast on your platform. Share this broadcast any place you belong. Make sure you share this broadcast so that everybody will get it. When we were shouting and talking on different platforms, complaining that the insecurity in Biafra land is being caused and created by the politicians, sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. And in that, this man in the creek was indicted. He was indicted in it. Nobody believed us. They called us troublemaker. They called us troublemaker. All in the name of having their so-called Igbo president that they know that is impossible. Because you don't believe Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because you don't trust him, you call him a child. You never believed him. Because of this Igbo presidency, that is why you sold Mazen Nandekano. After selling Mazen Nandekano, for you to get Igbo presidency, did you get it? Because of Igbo presidency, that was why you placed bounty on the head of your own son, your defender, our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa. Because of your political position, you placed bounty on him, $50,000. You increased it to $100,000. Today, did you get the presidency? Where are you today? In the same vein, most of you boasted that if you don't get that presidency, you have no other choice than to follow Biafra. Today, what are you doing? What are you still waiting for? Oh, you're still waiting for the court. That's how stupid some of you are. Are you going to tell me you're waiting for the court? So you don't know what is going to be the outcome of the court? The same court that have ordered the release of Mazen Nandekano, and the government refused. A country where the president can decide either to obey or not obey the court. We are talking about a country that the president of the country will decide either to obey the law or not obey. And all of a sudden, that president is in power today. Somebody is in power, and you think you can remove that very person from that same court that he will choose either to obey or not to obey. This is a man who told you that it is his turn, and he will do everything humanly possible to maintain his turn. Already, the country has been handed over to him, and you think that you can come and say you have. We are not talking about any other African country. We are talking about the capital of fraud, the headquarters of corruption. And you think that the person that is in charge will wake up and now obey the court against himself. You better wake up. The reason why we don't take you people who call yourself elite or do and down. Look at them. All of a sudden they are waking up. Oh, why do you have to threaten the Igbos? If you don't arrest me for 24 hours or 48 hours. Arrest who? Arrest him in 48 hours, or you do what? What will you do? What will you do? That is how you have reduced yourself. You have reduced yourself to the extent that they don't take you serious. You're not taking serious. If it were our supreme leader that gave that ultimatum, if it were him that gave us, or let's assume Master Simon Ekpa, our prime minister, gave that ultimatum, the Zoological Republic will pay attention more than they will pay attention to you, Johannes and Bibo. That doesn't know their left and right. They have lost every single of their respect because they sold it by themselves. If it were our supreme leader that gave ultimatum to the Zoological Republic, they will be running helter-skelter. If not for anything, they will respond. Something will happen. If our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in Israel today give an ultimatum to Nigerian government, they will obey it. They must pay attention. You must see a sign that at least they had it. But look at this, your bluff. Arrest the man in the creek 48 hours, or else what? Or else what? What will you do? The same way you said, give us Igbo presidency, or else we will join Biafra. Have you joined the Biafra? Tinubu must not be swear in. If you swear to be in, it means there will be no more Nigeria. Is there not say Nigeria? Is that not where yes, you are saying now, obeying them? The only people that speak the right language to understand is the Biafra Republic government in exile, under the control of our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, and on the leadership of Mazen Nandekano. They are the only people today that make wave. They speak the voice of the Biafran people. 70 million people they represent. Unlike you that represent 1%. Very soon, some of you begin to congratulate me. Already, some of you are already changing your languages. Some of you are already changing your languages. Maybe he's going to do well, including people who call themselves Biafrans. Including people. Let me tell you, it's so sad. It's so sad that people deceive themselves, thinking you are deceiving yourself. The late Muhammadu Buhari, when he entered office, achieved much more things. This is you're seeing today. He did much more better things than this man you're seeing. Look at your appointment, his appointment. Look at that appointment critically, and you tell me if there is balance in it. Of course, there are not. Look at the invitations, people he's inviting, bringing closer to himself. The people he promotes, the arch enemies of the Biafran people. And I tell you, one of the haters of Biafrans in that zoological republic, just the same way the late Muhammad Buhari hate Biafra, that is the same way Bola Ahmed Tinubu hate Biafra. Now you begin to know why the Janjaweed are supporting him. You begin to know the reason why the Janjaweed support him. It's not even about the religion. It's not even about religion. That is not why they support him. They support Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of his hatred, open hatred to the Biafran people. Because of his open hatred to Biafran people. Look at the laws that are being implemented in Lagos State. The law that is against the Constitution of Nigeria. A state implementing a law that is against the Constitution of Nigeria, and the president is not saying anything. He's not uttering any word regarding to it. He's not saying a single word about it. And there you are, smiling. There you are, wasting your time. I thank Chukwu Abiyama for Biafra Republic Government in Israel. And today, the terrorists that are coming to Biafra land, they are receiving water. And they will continue to receive water. We are going home. No matter how they try, they cannot stop us from getting out of the zoo. In this year that we are in, they can't stop us. We are definitely going to walk out. They are receiving water. That is why I say, pay attention. If you are not on Twitter, go on Twitter and follow Master Simon Ever. There are several videos that we cannot be able to show you here on YouTube. There are so many information that we cannot pass to you here on YouTube. If you want to get first-hand information and things that they happen as they unfold, follow our Prime Minister on Twitter. You'll be informed. You will see things, and you will know that things are happening. And more are on the way. That is why we come for fundraising every Saturday. Like today. Today weekend is fundraising. The fund you are raising is not going to anybody's pocket. You go to the website, you make your donation, and you will see the effect of your fund with your own eyes. Within the space of 2 years, with nothing, we have achieved much more than you can ever imagine. In the space of 2 years, since Mazen was kidnapped, without fund, with little or no fund, we have achieved a lot of things. We have gotten more allies. We have engaged in so many diplomatic missions, and we have been able to establish Biafra Republic Government in exile. The states are coming out. The federal government of homeland is coming out. We are defending our land. ESN is making wave, preparing heavily. The Liberation Army activated in a space of 2 years with little or nothing. Then just imagine if we can be able to have the fund we had before during the time of Mazen Nandekanu. Criminals surrounded Mazen Nandekanu, and Mazen Nandekanu cannot be everywhere at the same time. He was doing his best. Mazen Nandekanu was standing alone, left and right, and they were busy defrauding him, bringing one project or the other, project that they don't implement, stealing right, left, and center. And today, here are we, with little or nothing. We have gotten more allies. We have engaged in so many diplomatic missions. So many things activated in Biafra land. Our force is getting strong, waxing strong to go. With little or nothing. This is the time for you to come out and support the Biafra Republic Government in exile. Come and support with anything, including your brain, anything you know you have. Come inside and put it. Your finance is very important. Support the Biafra Republic Government financially, because engagement is going to happen. You heard the sound of freedom. Go to the platform of our Prime Minister. You will hear the sound of freedom very, very clear. That sound you're hearing, it is not with 1 naira. That sound you are hearing is not a sound of naira. It's a sound of dollar. For every of that sound that rings, dollars are going. It is you and I that will sponsor it. That is why today, being Saturday, go to the website. Don't even wait until the fundraising time. Go to the website. Make your donation, no matter how small. Make your donation. Make your contribution. We don't have any sponsor anywhere. No government have come out to sponsor. We have not got to, they have to see what we have done on our own before some of them will fall online. Do we have allies? We have allies. And we are getting more allies. But there are certain things we must do for ourselves until when it comes to the time that they're going to come in. The Jews sponsored their own state and they got the state of Israel. Today, they are the strongest nation in the world. Many other people sponsored theirs and they got it. And we can be able to sponsor our own freedom and we get it. Any place you are, you must come out and engage. There are Biafrans that Chukwu Okekame have placed wealth in their hand. We are not poor. Biafrans are not poor. Across the world, the richest tribe you can talk of. The richest tribe you can talk of. You can only compete with these Jews. You can only compare with the Jews when it comes to wealth. You come to Nigeria, after taking everything with them, they make things out from nothing. It is because of their progress. That is why the envy and jealousy in Nigeria is increasing. Envy and jealousy because of their hard work, because of their success. That is why everybody wants to see them down. But can you stop the moving train? You can't stop the moving train. Whoever Chukwu Okekame have blessed, you cannot curse. You can't curse the person that Chukwu Okekame have blessed. The only thing you can do is to bless him more. You can't curse. Every Biafran, wherever you are today, prepare for what is coming. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. It is not business as usual. There are certain things that must happen for us to get into our freedom. You don't pray about it. Whether you pray, whether you don't pray, whether you call God, whether you call whatever, there are certain processes that we must pass for us to walk into our freedom. And that is where we are today. Our Prime Minister have reminded us and said, if you want peace, prepare for war. And if you don't believe that word, can you ask yourself, why is it that with all the name calling, they called Master Simon up a different kinds of name, blackmailed him, up to the extent of putting a bounty on his head to kidnap him? They wrote a petition that he is a terrorist. They called different kinds of name. But in the midst of all those storms, he was honored internationally as the ambassador of peace. In the midst of all those name calling, he was honored globally as ambassador of peace. That should speak volume. That was a very strong message to Biafran people. We don't know what we have. So many of us do not know what we have. They don't know who we have. As Master Simon, the Prime Minister, we don't know who we have. You see all those clowns who are coming online, instead of focusing on the real enemy, they are talking against him. Even people that he's protecting. People that he's protecting use his name to play games online. And I asked them, let's assume today, Master Simon say, I am no longer interested in this Biafra struggle. You, come and handle it. How many of them can stand the heat? How many of them? How many of them have the identity to speak for a nation, even in their own place where they are living? In the country where they live in, do they have that face that can be presented to be the face of a nation? How many people? Mention one. If you are on this platform or you will watch this very broadcast in the time to come, mention one person that you know today that is talking against Master Simon that has that face that can be presentable as a representative of a nation. Checking their background, their qualification and their background, and what they are doing, where they are, where they belong. It is not enough to make noise. Everybody knows who is greater than him. And I say that woke and wokera up no kwonu. Woke and wokera abu no kwonu. Onye obada ma onye kare ya. When you say men and men are men and men are not the same. There are men that are greater than men. And the earlier you realize that and know that, the earlier you embrace that truth, the longer you will live. The earlier you embrace that truth, the longer you live.
When you see somebody who is greater than you, mellow down, learn, and hide yourself under his canopy. That will save you. Don't go and challenge your God. But of course, your envy and jealousy will not allow you. That is why some of them today have disappeared. Some of them today are facing the consequence of what they did, even after warning. Master Simon have warned on several occasions. Do not attack me. I am not here for you. Don't attack me. My mission is to set my people free, and I focus on fighting against the government of Nigeria. And yet, people don't agree. People are blinded because of the wickedness. Some think it's a child's play. Some think it's a joke. And how do you think that somebody who has a bar in Finland, somebody who has a law firm in Finland, somebody who has won a counselor, somebody who is highly connected even to the presidency, we just throw all that away for a joke of your Biafra? We just bring it and begin to gamble with it as a joke. And these very people that are attacking Mansa, if some of them have one quarter of the opportunity Mansa have, they will never ever open their mouth to talk about Biafra. So many of them that are attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa, if they have the opportunity that Mazi Simon Ekpa have, one quarter of it, just one quarter, a little of it, you will never see them open their mouth and talk about Biafra. But yet, look at them. When you see them mount their podium, you'll be wondering, from which planet are these people coming? From where are they coming from? Even when the truth is very open before them, ask them, what has this man done to you? Nothing. Nothing. But I'm not surprised. I am not discouraged. That is why I'm here, encouraging my fellow Biafrans. No matter what you see, don't be surprised. There will always be a Judas among the 12. There will always be that Thomas among the 12. They will always be there. There is no way you can avoid it. There's no way you can escape it. This is a reality of life that must always be there. So don't get discouraged. Are we going to have 100% compliance on people who are going to pursue Biafra? It will not happen. You can never, ever have 100% compliance. And I remind you, we say that democracy is a game of number. And we always use a phrase that says, majority carries the vote. And I bet you, if you are sincere to yourself, you have to know and realize that those who are with Mazi Simon Ekpa seeking for Biafra are more than those who are against him. In the same way, the Biafrans that are asking for their freedom genuinely are greater in number than those who still want to be pretending to be part of the Zoological Republic because they want to protect their loots, their crime, and their evil. Because they are afraid of the unknown. They are very few, less than 1%. I am telling you that even if we have 60% compliance, we are in a good position to decide what happens in Biafra land. If we have 55% compliance, we are still on the good position to decide what happens in Biafra land. How much more in a situation where we have more than 90% compliance? Why won't we take the decision? Why won't we take the decision? And that is why you are seeing the lockdown that is happening in Biafra land every Monday to secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Not enforced by anybody. That is why in the coming weeks, when we are going to have our 1 week sit at home, you will see a total lockdown. A total and absolute lockdown. And if you're one of those who has not been taking it serious, you better take it serious now. When we were telling you that the Zoological Republic are the ones causing insecurity and coming to kill people on the day of sit at home, you didn't take it serious. Today, you see Asara Dokuba confessing. You see Asara Dokuba, the arch enemy of Biafra, confessing. The man they have planted, the eye the government planted in the Biafra struggle to destroy it. You see, that is why sometimes when things happen, you don't know why it happened. When I was reading of Mazi Nnamdi fall out with this man, you'll be wondering, this is a man who was pretending to be for Biafra. preaching Biafra, praising Mazen Nandekano, thinking that he's going to win Mazen Nandekano's soul with those preaching. He was thinking that with those preaching and praises, he will win the heart of Mazen Nandekano, then he will come in and corrupt him. But he didn't know that it is not possible. He didn't know that he's fighting a failed cause. And today, here are we. After he has pretended, Mazen Nandekano saw it clear. And he told him enough is enough. He ran mad and began to talk against Mazen Nandekano. And today, you have seen his real color. He has finally brought out his real color. He has brought out his real color. He can no longer hide. His real color today is in the open. He has confessed to be the one in charge of taking life and properties in Biafra land. And today he is bold and he came out to be celebrated in Asorok. And when we tell you that the Asorok is sponsoring the insecurity in Biafra land, you take it for a joke. This is a jihad they have sent him to fight in Biafra land. And he confessed to it. This is why you see they tell you about when they call about unknown government. You have been hearing unknown government. And our prime minister, our Mazen Nandekano, tell you, I do not know this unknown government. I do not have anything to do with them. Mazen Nandekano said it on his broadcast. I don't know them. I don't know who sent them. I'm not the one that sent them. Whatever they're doing, as long as they are fighting the enemy that we are fighting, we don't have any problem with them. As long as they're not fighting us, we don't have any problem with them. But I don't have control over them, neither did I form them. And Mazen Nandekano is a man of his word. He's not a coward that will do a thing and deny it. He doesn't. When Mazen Nandekano carry out a mission, he will tell you, I did. Our Prime Minister of Biafra government in Israel also told you, we don't know this unknown government. Unknown gun, they will not know them. We don't have anything to do with them. Whatever they do, as long as they don't come to attack us, let them go. It is their business. We are not involved in that. What we operate with ESN is what we have. The Biafran Liberation Army is what we have. Every other thing apart from that, we are not involved. And when we say that these unknown gunmen are owned by the government, by the DSS, even which some of them that were captured, some of them who died in action, you saw them, the ID card of DSS was seen with them. They're all foreigners. We saw them on different occasions. And yet, people thought it was a joke. But today, here are we. Today, here are we. Open confession coming from right, from left, from center. Open confession. And I tell you, no matter what the enemy does, no matter what they say, no matter the blackmail, we are going home. Today, the man that is in charge of the insecurity in Biafra land has been exposed. He has been exposed. You know, there are way Chukwu Okabama does his thing. Chukwu Okabama does his thing in such a way that you will expose yourself, you will bring yourself out. That is why I tell people, if you are still in this struggle today and you say, I don't know who is right and who is wrong, I don't know where to follow, I don't know who is now telling the truth and who is lying, you are the liar. You are the one lying to yourself. Because every single thing in this very struggle today is made open and clear. Chukwu Okabama by himself have revealed to show us who is who. Chukwu Okabama himself made the revelation. People confess with their mouth who they are and where they belong. Today, you see that of Asere Dokubo confessing of being in charge and taking the life of Biafrans at every given time. And this same man is celebrated in Asoro. And when we are saying it, Ohanes, this useless Ohanes and Dohi today, they took it for a joke. While Mazi Simon Ekpa was shouting and talking, they were busy putting bounty on his head. While Mazi Simon Ekpa was fighting to secure, while our prime minister was fighting to secure the land, they were busy putting bounty on his head. And today they come out, arrest Asere Dokubo within 48 hours or else. Else what? Or else what? The same way you said, arrest, the same way you say, if you don't give us Igbo Biafra, we will join Biafra. What are you waiting for? Did they give you the presidency? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? They say, if Tinubu becomes a president, that means there will be no Nigeria. Hadn't he become a president? Are you not still in that Nigeria? Jokers, bunch of jokers. Okay, you will say, oh, we are waiting for the court. Which court? A country that you know that does not obey the rule of law. You and I know that the Nigerian doesn't obey the law. You know that a president of Nigeria is so strong that he can decide either to obey the law or not obey the law. That is how Nigeria functions. That is why that foundation must be destroyed. That is the only option. The only option is to bring down that foundation and start a new one. The president of the Zoological Republic is so strong that he would make a choice either to obey the law or not. That was why a Fulani man was there, late Muhammad Buhari. He doesn't care what you say. Even when the court have said, let Mazen Nandekano go, he has not committed any crime. Pay him compensation. In fact, there is no court that is qualified to try his case anymore. You must not take him to any court. But yet, what are they doing? They are still holding Mazen Nandekano against his will. They are still holding him in solitary confinement. They didn't only deny him his freedom, they denied him access to his doctors. The doctors that is treating him could not be able to treat him. He could not get his medical care. Feeding is hard for him. He couldn't have his glasses to read. He couldn't even have his praying materials. Every of his right was stripped out of him. An innocent man, a prisoner of conscience. The United Nations has spoken and said, let him go. Other countries have said, and let him go. The Zoological Republic court has said, let him go. Not one court, not two, but three. And yet, they are holding him. And all of a sudden, you think that in that same contraption, that a black man that has such kind of a power to decide either to obey the law or not, will now sit back and say, okay, come and take the presidency. You have won. Dreamers. Dreamers, that is what you people are. You are all dreamers. I thank Chukwu Okekabema, who gave us somebody like our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also gave us Mazi Simon Ekpa today. And because of these people, we know that Biafra will be a reality in 2023 that we are in. We are going home. I don't know about you. As for me, I am going. I don't know about you. If you are not going, it is your choice. If you wake up and choose to remain in Nigeria, I am not going to force you out. Nobody. Mazi Simon Ekpa will not force you to become a Biafran. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot force you to be a Biafran. I will not force you to be a Biafran. If you decide to nationalize, just like everybody nationalized in different countries where they decide to, you still have that freedom to nationalize as a Nigerian and be with them in that their caliphate. But as for us, Biafra must come. Biafra must come, and we will continue to fight for it. In this 2023, I thank Chukwu Okekabema for the steps that are already online. The steps that have been already unveiled. On 28th of next month, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile headquarters will be inaugurated, and the whole world will watch it. After the inauguration, every other things will kick off. This is a headquarters where they have blackmail. Go to some ignorant people, go there to make videos shamelessly. Some people throw away their manners, throw away their conscience, even people that claim to be a pastor. Something you saw in black and white, you are denying it. And today some of them have shamelessly disappeared. They have no voice anymore. And some are still trying to force themselves to create content. Keep on creating content. Keep on creating content. You'll be in that your creation of content, and then you hear it is done. And then you come back to Biafra land and answer for every of your atrocities. In Biafra land, we are going to have a justice system that nobody can be able to jump, no matter your status. If the law of Biafra says you are guilty, you are guilty. You face the full wrath of the law. If the law of Biafra says that you are innocent, nobody comes after you. You are innocent. You go ahead and live your life. Is Biafra going to come? Absolutely, it is going to come. And we have a target, 2023 that we are in. We are not extending it. The process has started. And I believe in my Prime Minister with all my heart. I trust every single word my Prime Minister said. Because judging from the things that I've said in the past, judging from his foundations, why do I have to doubt him? Why? Why do I have to doubt him? The only thing that you are supposed to do, I am supposed to do, is to continue to support him. Support the Biafran Republic government in exile by all means possible. Anything you have. Don't tell me there's nothing you can do. There is something you can do. Our brothers and sisters in Biafra already are engaging in sit at home. When you hear about sit at home, tell your neighbor that have not heard. When you watch a video, share it and let them hear. Our 1 week sit at home, they tell me, prepare and share things with your neighbor who cannot be able to sustain. This is the time to make sacrifice. There are sacrifices that every one of us can make. Sacrifice of your time, sacrifice of your material, sacrifice of your money, sacrifice of your brain, sacrifice of your experience, sacrifice of your knowledge, sacrifice of finance. All these are sacrifices. You must fall into one and make that sacrifice. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It is not given. It is taken. Freedom is not given. Nobody will dash you freedom. And you will not hear anywhere they say that they dash them freedom. They will dash freedom. What you hear in history is people fought for their freedom and they got it. It is our time to fight for our freedom. Wherever you are, key in. Fight the battle. Our own case is that the assurance is already there. Chukwu Okukabema said, go and take it. Go and take it. He is with us. And we will definitely go without looking back. Biafra is going to come. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this broadcast today. I wish you a very happy weekend. As you are celebrating your weekend, please remember, today is our fundraising. Join us on the fundraising and support the Biafran struggle the best way you can. Put in your resources there. Whatever you have, you can support. Let me tell you, there is nothing you commit to Biafra struggle that is in vain. Everything you commit, your time, your money, your effort, your experience, you are going to get it back in 1,000-fold. I didn't say it. Chukwu Okukabema promised that. Mazen Nandekan have prayed about it for a very long time, and it is happening. It is happening. I appreciate everyone that has connected, wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining from Biafra, my special thanks go for you. If you are joining from Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Russia, China, whichever part of the world you are watching me from, I say, may Chukwu Okukabema continue to guide you and protect you. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect all our media warriors that are speaking on various platforms. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect them and their families. Continue to empower them, strengthen them, and be with them, and make provisions for them. May Chukwu Okukabema continue to guide and protect our Umuada that are fighting day and night. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect them, secure them, protect their families, and provide for them. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect all our members of ESN and their families. May Chukwu Okukabema protect them, divine protection. No weapon shall get to them. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect our Liberation Army. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect the BNL and their leaders. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect every single person that is genuinely seeking for freedom on this planet Earth. May Chukwu Okukabema grant you freedom in your lifetime. May Chukwu Okukabema guide and protect our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he is. We commit him into the hand of Chukwu Okukabema for divine grace, for divine power. Every attack against him, both spiritually and physically, will never ever succeed. No matter where they come from east, west, north, south, whatever missile they threw to him, spiritually and physically, he will never fail. May Chukwu Okukabema grant him more strength, more wisdom, more knowledge, more contacts. He will lead us until we walk into Biafra. We commit our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, on the hand of Chukwu Okukabema. May Chukwu Okukabema continue to guide and protect Mazen Nandekano wherever he is. We commit Mazen Nandekano in the hand of Chukwu Okukabema for divine protection, for divine mercy, for divine healing, for divine revelation, wherever he is. Let Chukwu Okukabema begin to release the League of Angels. Let Chukwu Okukabema release the League of Angels. Let them begin to minister to Mazen Nandekano. Send doctors spiritually to monitor Mazen Nandekano and begin to minister to his health. Whatever illness in his body, every attack in his health, spiritually and physically, may Chukwu Okukabema unleash legions of doctors spiritually to begin to minister to him. No evil shall befall him. No evil shall befall him. No evil shall befall him. Mazen Nannekan will join us alive, raising the flag of Biafra, and every one of us will celebrate. I appreciate every one of you who has connected. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafran people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Mazen Nannekan shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. If you have not shared this video, please kindly share this video to all platforms. Share to our family and friends. Share to even our enemies. Let them hear us and hear us clear. If you have time, join me same time tomorrow. I will still be here. And again, you can join me later in the evening. I am going to be preaching on King David Exploit Expose. That is where I play videos and make some explanations, which I cannot make here. I do that on my page on Facebook. Join me on that Facebook later in the evening on King David Exploit Expose. I appreciate every one of you and see you again later. Thank you and stay safe. Bye-bye.